And Anne is going to email you. Anne is on my team, and she'll email you after the session, if not today, tomorrow, because it's late. And then she'll send, the information about the fund plus the replay. And then if you need, if you need to meet on Zoom, let me know, and then we'll meet on Zoom and I'll answer any questions that you have. Okay. Oh, another thing that we're going to go over is the financial model as well too. So the financial model, super easy for you to use, and then you'll be able to just plug your numbers in. You can see like how the deal is doing. I wonder, Anne, can you check too, please? Did I think Adam sent over a new deal analyzer, but I'm not sure. I can't remember where that is. Can you send that to me if you find it so I can open up? Because I feel like we saw that, but I can't remember where it's at. Right?
Deal analyzer for,
Not the deal analyzer. I'm sorry, the financial model.
okay, I'll check it.
Didn't he update the financial model for us? I think he did. We'll check it and we'll see. So Adam is our fund manager. He's the administrator. He's a tax strategist. He's a CPA. He's managing the fund on the back end. So he's the one that's going to do all the distributions. And he's also the one that created the financial model. So basically with the financial model, like we update it either, as we get new deals under contract. So I just got a deal under contract last Friday, or at the quarterly meeting, he'll have the new financial model updated so that we can look at the numbers and you guys can have that. So we're updating the financial model like on a regular basis. So make sure if you do decide to work with us that, you're always using the newest financial model as we go through the fund, because the purpose of this fund is to buy, six, I would say anywhere from 5 to 8, storage facilities, depending on the price, from now until the end of the year. Now we bought 2 last year. Okay. And those are going well. And then also we have 2 under contract right now. And those 2 are what I'm raising the money for. I'm trying to raise the money for, and we're supposed to close in the next, couple of months or so. So I need to raise the money for that. And so that's why you guys are here. So I appreciate you guys coming. And so so my husband and I have been investing in self-storage for 6 years. We have not. John is asking me if we've closed on the Carrollton. No, we're supposed to actually we're supposed to close on that one at the end of February. We're supposed to close. Yeah. But so yeah, so my husband and Pete and myself, we have been investing in real estate for over 10 years, like since 2011. And we rehabbed a whole bunch of homes for like 5 years. We did 100 homes. And then what happened is I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, we were doing like 10 rehabs at the same time. And I was just like, I was over it, honestly. I was not in the mood to be doing any more rehabs. But the thing is, I had not really focused on passive income for those 5 years. And so then, like, obviously as a mother to be, I was thinking like, okay, how can I start? Like, I want to stay home with my baby. What can I do? So I went to, and I was 100% privately funded. So I've been 100% privately funded since like day one. And I'm very, very used to raising money and talking to investors and working with investors. And so basically what I did is I went to all my investors and I said, I don't really want to do rehabs anymore. It's like, would you guys be okay if like once we finish a rehab, I just roll that over into something else, but something that's more like a buy and hold. And that would mean that I would need like longer terms. I need like 3 to 5 year terms. And they were all like, yes, yeah, of course, just do that, So like, it's funny because like when you start in, like when you're investing, a lot of times you're like, oh, I just want to get that, that payment once, and then, maybe once a year or something. But then when you start getting those payments like every month, you're like, yeah, I really want this payment every month. But so I talked to all my investors, and yes, you can share the link. Please do share the link. So then I talked to all my investors, and we started. So basically, my very first deal I found was like right around the corner from our house. It was a small facility. It was like 3 acres, and it was like 125 units. So it wasn't like super small, but it was like storage plus RV parking. And this is back like when I'm telling y'all nobody was interested in storage. Like this is like 2015, 2016, when like nobody was talking about storage, right? And so, the owner had been trying to sell that facility for 5 years for $500,000, but it was only making like 24. It was making like $2,000 a month. That's it. And so I just basically, told the owner, I was like, look, I can pay, I can pay 200. I offered 200 grand. I was like, I'll pay 200 grand for this thing and just pay it for cash. Like, I was like, my lender will just give you the cash. And then he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's too little. And then he called me back a couple of days later and he said, I talked to my wife and she told me just sell the thing. She's like, if you could do 250, I'll do 250. So we bought that facility. It was 125 units on 3 acres for 250 grand. And it's worth like $1.5 million right now. I mean, that thing is just rocking and rolling, right? And, that was the first time I got into storage. And I was like, and I got into commercial and I was thinking, man, there's really something to this. And so I got hooked, honestly, and we ended up finishing all of our rehabs off. And then we started really just focusing on storage. And my husband, he at the time had a home inspection company. He sold his home inspection company and he moved over to the storage side as well, too. And then we just started really building our portfolio up. So we own now 11 storage facilities throughout Georgia and Florida. And they're all just our personal, facilities. And we were managing those, managing those and buying, one, maybe we were buying like maybe 3 a year, let's say something. Like we're getting to the point where like, okay, we could buy some more, right? And just really kind of getting like, getting our internal systems all set up to be able to buy more. And then I talked to one of my coaches and a couple of years ago, like this was right in the middle of COVID. And he was like, Stacey's like, I really feel like you're ready for a fund. Like you should really consider doing a fund. And I had never thought about it before. And I was like, right. Like, I think I should do a fund. I was like, I'm doing a fund. So, I hired consultants and I kind of attorney and consultants to really put this fund together. And what they did is they analyzed my 11 deals. And they looked at how my 11 deals were doing. And that's how we created the model for the fund. Now, the type of deals that I buy are mismanaged facilities. There's 2 different types of mismanaged facilities. One of them is like a severely mismanaged facility where it's like, don't be looking, like the very first one I bought, right? And we actually just picked up one inside of the inside of the fund, and we bought it I bought it in Macon, Georgia. If anybody knows about Macon, it's kind of like an industrial rental town, but it's growing. I mean, there's like a couple 100,000 people there. I mean, it's a secondary market in Georgia. So, and we bought the ugliest storage facility in Georgia. I can show you pictures of it. And I'm sorry, yeah, it's like the ugliest storage facility in Macon. I don't know Georgia, but in Macon. And the owner's super nice, and he just was running it to the ground. And it's 171 units on 6 acres. It's like a massive, huge piece of property. And it just ran into the ground. And then on top of that, he's making $1,000 a month, just so you know. He's making $1,000 a month on 171 units. And there's also a warehouse on the facility that like there's somebody, like the owner was putting stuff into it and then he died, and his wife, like it's full of stuff and his wife does not want any of it. And that happened like 2 years ago and he never even cleaned it out. So just think about like how this thing is run. Like half of the units are just completely filled with crap, which reminds me, the very first facility that I ever bought, I was talking to the owner and his name was Butch. I was like, Butch, so are all these facilities, are all these units full? And actually, this is the first one, this picture behind me. This is our very first deal. So just, and I was like, are all of them full? And he said, yeah, they're full. And I was like, oh, good. He's like, full of crap. They're all just full of crap, and I haven't cleaned it out, And so that's kind of like the basis to like every single storage facility we ever bought. So the one that we bought in Macon was 171 units, and it's like all full of crap. And it's just like, and then he was trying to like rearrange like walls and trying to make units bigger and smaller and stuff. And then he just gave up on that too. So out of 171 units, there's only 90 units that are actually usable, and the rest, like half of them, you can't even use. So that's a severely mismanaged facility, and we bought it for $375,000. And that facility is worth like $2.5 million once we get it filled up. Right. So that's the upside of the types of deals that I find. And that's just like, that's like a smaller thing. That's a smaller kind of deal. But those are the types of deals that I come across all the time, because I have a 10 virtual assistants that do nothing but like find storage facilities for us. And they're coming across like amazing deals, like the two that I'm going to show you tonight that we picked up. And what happens is when you have these deals, right? And the owner's not managing them, the banks do not want to finance them. Right. And so that's where you come into play. Like, I need cash so I can buy these. And then 18 to 24 months later, I can go out and refinance them. And then we can all get a distribution from that. But I need the cash up front in order to do that. All right. Now, that's like severely mismanaged facilities are typically what I've been buying for the last 6 years. All 11 facilities that we own are all this type of facility, severely mismanaged. Okay. And like, my husband is the type of person that he likes to get his hands dirty. He's like hands-on, he's the type of person that just kind of likes to do that. Now, the second type of facility is just like the very first facility that we bought in the fund, which is the owner has not increased the rents in like years, right? So he's making an income, but he's not making what he should be making. All right. That is a severely mismanaged facility. So for instance, the one that we bought in Blairsville, Georgia, which is like way up in the North Georgia mountains, the owner was making $8,000 a month, right? It's 135 doors, and he was making $8,000 a month, and he was free and clear, and he was happy with $8,000 a month, right? But the truth is that he was charging 20 by 20 for 10 by 10s, and he should have been charging $100. So he could have been making between $20,000 and $25,000 a month, but he didn't want to raise the rents because he lived in the town for 15 years and he never raised the rents. He didn't want to piss anybody off. And so he was happy with making $8,000 a month. So we picked that facility up for $1 million, right? And we raised the rates immediately, and like 30% left, right? Because obviously people are going to be mad because we're raising the rents. And, but then the same time that 30% rent left, we're still getting new tenants on a regular basis, right? Paying $100 a month instead of $20 a month. And in fact, in the very first month that we owned that facility, we made almost $13,000. And he had only ever made $8,000 on his facility, on his units, right? So in the first year, we made more money and we lost all the tenants. Just think about that, right? So that is also another severely mismanaged facility, and banks will not finance these types of facilities, especially nowadays, because they're being like very ultra conservative on everything, right? So you can get like you can get what's called like a projected based loan, but like they're a pain in the butt. Like you have business plans, and it's like, it takes like 4 months to close, and it's just the whole thing. I know that because I'm going through the process for that on another deal right now. But like this one, right, these two types of facilities that we have in the fund right now are the two types of facilities that we're going after. Typically, those facilities are going to be between $1 and $3 million, right? But, I need cash for those, all right, in order to purchase them, okay? So that is why you guys are here, and I appreciate you guys coming and listening to me. And I'm going to show you kind of like, all the offering and stuff. I just wanted to give you an idea of like what I'm looking for. And, and then internally my husband manages. So I do find them and fund them. And then my husband does run them. And running them is like, my husband has his whole team underneath him that we have like a system where we have like an onboarding system, and then we have like you transfer the ownership over, you own it, right? And then you have like management. And so we have a facility coming in, right? And we're onboarding it, and it's going to transfer ownership, and then it's also going to management. And so it's kind of like a little system. And so we have one person that really kind of manages these steps for us internally, and he oversees all that. And that's how we set it up, so that we can just bring one in, onboard it, and move it to the next step. Bring the next one in, that person's onboarding it, and the person that's doing the transfer ownership stuff is really managing all that. And then they move to the management section where we own it, and we're like actually managing it. It's kind of like this little system that we have, and we're really fine-tuning that system. I'm gonna tell you, it's an amazing system. And we're getting really good at doing that, and we need to be, because we're doing this fund, right? So my husband and I are really working hard to we've been doing that for like hours, but now we're doing it for the fund. So All right, so that's basically it. So I want to just kind of give you a up, like that's how we're running our facilities. And I wanted to just actually real fast, I'm going to show you the portal, and I'm also going to show you the offering. So let me get in here. I'm going to log out of the portal so I can take y'all step by step through that. And then also I'm going to get into the presentation as well. Now, everything that you need is inside the portal. So that's why I like to show everybody first that, so that what I'm going through, you're going to have access to as well. Okay. So that's what I'm showing you. So if you go to the self-storagefundofamerica.com, and if you could put that into the chat so everybody can go there now, that's our website. So it's Self-Storage Fund of America, LLC. And then you're going to want to access the PPM, right? If you do not already have access to the portal, you want to get access to the portal. Okay. This is where you're going to just fill your account information. Now, when you fill this account information, we have to approve you. So, Ann will approve you on the back end, and then you'll come in and you'll get access. Okay. And then once you get access to the portal, you're only going to have access to the PPM, right? Like the first level is just access to the PPM. And that's where you're going to be able to view it. And then, read it. Definitely I recommend reading the PPM, going through it. The PPM is like the Bible of the fund. All the rules, all the regulations are in there. Everything about me, all of the, the transactions that we've done. We've done over $25 million in transactions in the last 10 years. And, so those are all there as well too. And the operating agreement is also in the PPM. So everything that you need is in the PPM. I would highly recommend that you guys take a look at it. Okay. Now, in order to access the document section and everything else that you see here, you need to upgrade to investor status. Excuse me. You need to upgrade to investor status. Okay. So you can see here, I've created my account, and then I've upgraded to investor status. When you upgrade to investor status, then you get access to the entire portal. Okay, then you can really kind of dig in and see everything else as well too, the way that it looks now, and you'll be able to see the subscription. This is like steps 1, 2, and 3, right? After you read the PPM, you can see the subscription. You can verify your accreditation, and then you could you could transfer your wire. All right, so just so you know. But really what you want to see is you want to go into the document section. In the document section up here to the right, it's only available under the investor upgrade section, right? But once you get access to that, then you want to check these out, So the quarterly report, we had our very first quarterly report done in November, and we'll have, once Adam finishes everything up, then we'll have another quarterly report for, last quarter as well. And I highly recommend that all the investors come on and just, listen to us. We'll tell you what's going on. You can ask any questions and things like this. Okay. And then also, if you wanted to watch the quarterly meetings replay of last time, that's right here too. So you could just watch this. You can look at the quarterly report, and you can watch the replay if you were interested. Okay. And those will always be here to all investors. You have access to that. Okay. And then also you have access to the supporting documents. And that's really what I wanted to show you, was the supporting documents. I always do like to 100 here, because I think we have we have 14 entries. I mean, it only goes to 10. So you want to make sure you see all of them. But here's where you can see like supporting documents. So for instance, like able self-storage is the one that we're going to go over today. I'm going to show you that one. And then there's an accreditation letter template. So people ask, like, what does your templates look like and stuff? This is what a template, and this is, what a template looks like. And then American Mini Storage is the one that we went over, the one in Blairsville that we bought in August. So you can see that here, the analysis, and that's all right here. The fund manager, Adam, explaining the new financial model feature. This is a video of Adam going over the financial model. So if you need help with the financial model, you can watch this here. Okay. The investor presentation, I'm going to download that. And then you can look at, actually, I have that one up right here, but we're going to go over that's like the deck, the slide deck is what it is. Okay. We're going to go over that. And then Max is the one that we closed in November. So that's here. So you can see information on that. And then the updated financial model is here as well too. So I want to download, we're downloading all these. If you need to see it, if you want an example of the subscription, that is right here as well too. Okay. So drink a little water here. So all the supporting documents that you need for the fund are here under documents. Okay. That's that. So I wanted to show you that. Okay. So now, I'm going to just click this. I'm going to go to the presentation after I open all these up. See what ones I downloaded. Can't remember. Okay, so now in the presentation, this is what you have access to in the supporting documents. We can go over this, and let me see. Let me stop sharing and then make sure that you can reshare. You can see this here. Yeah. Okay. So here's the presentation, and I've kind of sort of already started going over this. I went over like us and what we do, what we focus on. Where all of our facilities are Georgia, Florida area. So the ones that we're going to talk about tonight, one of them is in Georgia and the other one is in Florida that I'm trying to raise money for. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. And then the financial model is here. I'm not sure if that's too small, actually. I feel like that's getting... Oh, okay, cool. Let's do that. Okay, so there you go. So now you can kind of see this. This is the offering. Okay, so I'm trying to raise $7.875 million. And that's to buy anywhere from 6 to 8 facilities, depending on the price. And the targeted IRR is 19%. I'll show you in the financial model what it is, but what it is right now, because it's well above that. But the targeted IRR is 19%. And the targeted IRR is important because that's like, those are the hurdles inside. Those are like hurdles are like milestones. Those are the milestones in the fund that we as the asset manager need to hit. Those are our targets. Okay. And the hold period is a 5-year hold with an option to do up to 2 1-year extensions. We are running our numbers on 5 years is what we're doing. All right. Which is not it's the perfect time to be holding property, right? Because who knows what's going to happen to the market over the next 1 to 2 years, but definitely in the next couple of years, it'll correct itself. Okay. The preferred return is 10%. All right, so this is like whatever amount of money that you put into the fund, you will earn 10% on that money. Okay. And then, the splits are 80-20 if I don't get up to 15% IRR. But if I do go above 15% IRR, it's a 75-25 split, right? And I mean, I'll definitely get above 15. That's my goal. I need to get like 20. I want to split 25 to 75%, right? So the goal is for me to hit above 15% IRR. In fact, I won't put any deals into the fund unless it's well above that. All right. And they all are well above that right now. Okay. So the quarterly, and then the distributions are quarterly. Okay. All right. Well, and then also we're putting in 4% is what we're putting in, right? So every time that we do a close, we put money in, we ourselves personally put money into the fund as well too. Right. And then also the minimum investment is $25,000, but you must be an accredited investor. So this is a Reg D, this is a 506C Reg D fund, right? So that means that you have to be an accredited investor. So let me see here. Yeah. So what is an accredited investor? An accredited investor means that you have $1 million or more of net worth, and you are or you make $200,000 or $300,000, depending on what your taxes are. So filing separate or together with your spouse or partner. Okay. So, yeah, so it's $100 million or more net worth, or $200,000 or $300,000 for your W-2. Okay. Okay. All right. And then let's see. We have the waterfall. Waterfall is just really another name for the hurdles, right? This is your milestones, your hurdles. This is what you're trying to reach. And so we have the preferred return at 10%. So tier one essentially is like, if we can only hit the 10% interest, well, then it's a 96-4 split, right? 4% to us for putting the money in, and then 96 to y'all. Okay. But then if we hit tier two means that we've hit the 15% IRR. Anywhere, below 15% is a 76-4-20 split. So 76 to y'all as the investors, 4% to us for co-investing, and 20% to us for managing the asset. And then if we get above 15%, then the split is 71-4-25. So 71% to y'all, 4% to us, and then 25% to us for managing the asset. So those are the hurdles. Okay. And then the management fees are, so we have the fees are, we have a management fee that's 0.625% of the purchase of the property. And that's on an annual basis. So if we buy $1 million property, we get to make $6,250 annually. Okay. And then the acquisitions fee is 0.50%. That's a one-time fee, right, for just finding the facility. Okay. There is no refinance fee, and there is no disposition fee. And there is a development fee. If we were going to add on and like build on and stuff like this, we'll have a development fee for that as well. Okay. As of right now, we're not doing any add-ons or anything. Even for the one that has the 6 acres, we didn't even run the numbers to add on, because we buy, stabilize, refi, hold, and then sell, or buy, stabilize, and sell, depending on how the market looks, right? That's kind of what we do. Okay, and then, so you can go through the rest of this, you can go through and you can just check, okay. You can check the slides, right? So our strategy, right? Our market, the summary of like, we're going to be buying what types of facilities. We're buying mom and pop facilities, this kind of thing. So you can go through the deck if you want to and kind of see how we manage things, our pipeline, how we do our, our underwriting. There's some examples in here. There's also examples of deals that we've done inside the PPM as well. Our portfolio is here, right? And then this is me and my husband. Okay, so that's the slide deck, which is available to you. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do was just kind of go over a couple of, the deal, like just give you an idea of kind of the deals that we're buying and what we're focusing on here. So let me pull these up. Make sure I can find this. Yeah, here's this. Okay, so this is the one that we just purchased. I told you was like total like mismanaged facility. This is in Macon, Georgia. This is what it looks like. There's like a really long facility. I'll show you what it looks like on the overview too, but it's like a really long, goes all the way to the back. Here's something he did. He painted these blue and then he ran out of paint, he said, so he didn't finish it. This is the warehouse I was telling you about, where like the owner was renting this out and then died, and now he's like, it's just full of his stuff and the wife does not want it, right? And the color is horrific, honestly. The blue color is not good. We've already changed the sign. We're getting lighting. The issue is that there's no lighting here. There's a great gate system. The owner spent money on an amazing gate system, but he never put lighting up. And he never he just spent money on like the weirdest things. I'm not sure what he was thinking. So we're in the process of working with like the power company to have them come out, but like a whole bunch of lights up. That's like the very first thing. We need lights there because it just gets way too dark, and it's not good to have a dark facility. It's just not. You need to have a well-lit facility for security reasons. Okay. And we're going to put security cameras up. He had security cameras, but they got like stolen and broken into and stuff. So we need to like really secure this place better. There's no reason to secure it first until we have like lighting up. And then once we have the lighting everywhere, then we can put the security cameras in and that kind of stuff. Okay. And then, yeah, so there's a couple angles here. This is what it's looking like here. Dawsonville is a town in between Warner Robins and Macon. So although it's like a little tiny town, little suburb town, it's a growth rate. Look, 5%, 4.5%. It's growth. It's been growing for a while, but it's in a, well, that's the demographics here. Yeah, so you could see within a 10-mile or 5-mile radius, like almost 40,000 people, 80,000 people, 7 mile, 10 miles, 188,000 people. So it's in a secondary market. It's just kind of in between like two towns is what it is. This is our facility right here, max self-storage, and the property is like this whole property in the back as well too. And there's also another road that comes in. You could see it comes in on the back end right here. You could come in this way, but it's just not used or cleared properly and stuff. You come in and there's like a big U right here. So you come in and then you can come into the storage. And let's see here. So we looked at all the competition as well too. This facility actually is for sale right now for $2 million. And then there's 3 other facilities over here. My husband went to every single one of the facilities. Anyone that had an office, he went and he tried to rent a unit from them just to see kind of how it works. And that's how we came up with the competition price as well too. So for 10 by 10s, everybody in this area is charging $85. So that's how we know it's 85 cents a square foot in this area. So we just kind of did our own due diligence. This is the property. It's actually 2 properties connected is what it is. So that's what it looks like. Let me see. All right, so you can see the numbers here too. So we bought it for $375,000. We put $200,000 in CapEx in it. And he was making $14,000. It's for the year. That's all he made. 171 units at 20,000 square feet, but he's only using 92, and it's like 14, almost 15,000 square feet. So obviously we went overpaid for this thing, right? But in the end, it's going to be worth 2 million plus, for everything that we do to the property. We'll be able to, so we'll be able to take it to $2 million, minimum $2 million facility for sure. So you can see we bought it at a -2 cap rate. Right. And we're going to take it to a 24% cap rate. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to sell it. We ran our numbers at a 7 cap, which is also very conservative for this area, a 7 cap. All right. So I feel like our numbers are really right, spot on for this. But we asked, it's going to take time and effort to get this thing up and running. I mean, we got to paint it. We got to fix it up, fix doors, latches. And, we have to, lease it up and stuff. And so it's going to take us it's going to take us 24 months. So typically we refi out our facilities within 18 to 24 months is what we do. Okay. So that's how we ran the numbers on this. And you'll see that in the financial model when I show that to you. Okay. And then the other property that we have is the Blairsville that's already there. Blairsville. Yeah, here it is. Let me show you some pictures of this one. Hang on. Let me get this thing. I screwed this up when I did the Zoom. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me show you some pictures of this. I don't have any pictures. Property information. Here it is. So this is the facility itself. It's 135 units, and it has like a little right here. There's like an apartment, an office, a garage, an apartment right here. All right, let me see if we can find some more stuff on it. This is what it looks like. Pictures. Let me see if I can find some good pictures here. Looks like a storage facility. It's got a couple parcels of land that came with it. It's got a whole place that we cleared a whole area. And this is the garage and this is the apartment. We cleared the whole area. It's like all trees. We cleared it all, and we're going to be doing RV parking there. We did not even run the numbers on adding the parking there, but we're going to be doing parking as well. So that'll be an added benefit as well. But you can see it looks like a storage facility. There's indoor and outdoor climate control for this one. Okay, so we just wanted to give you an idea of kind of what this looks like. This is how the owner was managing his system, was this whiteboard right here. That's how he managed everything. All right, so again, severely mismanaged, no P&L, no tax returns, nothing like this. So we have to buy that with cash, right? We have to buy it with cash. Okay. So now let me just pull up the deal analyzer here so you could see the numbers. I told you we picked this one up for $1 million, right? He was he said he was making $116,000. In the end, he probably was making around 100,000, but he didn't have anything to show for it. But we picked it up 136 units for 22,200 square feet. He was 15% vacant. And he's at 52 cents a square foot, and he should be at 99 cents a square foot, right? So that's like, doubling the amount of the value. We picked it up right where it was worth at a 7 cap, right? For $1 million. We put $50,000 of CapEx in because we put new gates, and the gates are all done. This one's like up and running itself now. I mean, all that we really are focusing on for this one, because we bought it in August, is just really leasing it up and getting like the right tenants in. So it's like online marketing and just like, there's like honestly really nothing to do with this one. Just get the tenants in. But you can see that we're taking it to 99 cents a square foot. So we're going to be able to sell for $2.8 million once it's done. That's from a 7 cap to a 19% cap rate, right? So that's the goal. And then that doesn't even include the RV parking, that we're going to be adding. And we'll probably have like a good 10 spots there. It's a pretty big open area that we can park in. So just give you an idea, that's the numbers for this one as well too. And so now let's open up the ones that we have under contract now. Let me find them. Hang on. That's Max. And so now we're going to buy Carrollton. I think I opened it, but I don't see it. Hang on. No. Okay, hang on just one second. I'm going to get into the documents. Okay. I got it. Just didn't open. There it is. This is the executive summary. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's got a big commercial building right here, massive, huge commercial, like 10,000 square feet. And then this is the storage over here. Let me show you some better pictures. Yeah, so look, he rents each of these units out for $500 a month. I mean, really should be like $2,000 a month. But he just hasn't raised the rents, right? Or this would be perfect, honestly, to come in and like even do climate control. He has a great building for climate control. But he's had these people here, for years and years and years, paying like maybe $500 to $600 a month. That's it. Okay. And then here's the storage. And here's this here. Yeah, this is the storage. Actually, it's really not a bad facility at all, except for he's not making what he should be making. Right. This is a band. This is like a band right here that's been renting this place for like years and years and years. They do their practice there. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Go ahead and clean it up, make it look pretty and stuff is what we'll do. But Carrollton, Georgia is where it's located. Carrollton is like a suburb of Atlanta. Honestly, this is really like primary market. I mean, there is so much growth going on in this area. It's a great area to be investing in, and it's just only growing. And this is what it looks like, the top of it. There's Carrollton right here. So it looks like it's kind of out in the burbs, but it's really kind of, we have 4 facilities in this area right here. So adding another one and managing it's not going to be a big deal at all, because we do have 4 facilities in the Atlanta area, the South Atlanta area already. Let's see. So that's what it looks like from above. Okay. So let me show you some numbers actually here. Let me pull that up. I think I pulled it up, but maybe not. Carrollton. We picked this one up for $1.4 million. He's making he's making $150,000 a year is what he's making. But the thing is that like he has 3 companies. And this is why this is a mismanaged facility. He has 3 companies and he's been commingling the funds of all 3 of those companies. So like we tried to get a loan on it and the banks are just like, no, sorry, like we're not touching it. And, so we need like, that's why we raise the money for these kinds of things. We need the money. So he has like in his software, he's showing he's making $150,000, but in his P&L, he's showing that he made like $78,000 because he's like taking them, who knows what he's doing with all the money. All right. So that's another reason why it's considered a mismanaged facility. All right. So we're going to come in, we're going to clean this thing up. And actually all we have to do really is just like raise the rents. Just raise the rents. That's it. It's another Blairsville. So he's making 150 grand. It's 175 units, 25 square feet. He's at 71 cents a square foot and he should be at 95 cents a square foot, but he is 32% vacant. Okay. So we ran the numbers and we bought it at exactly what it's worth, $1.4 million, which is a 7 cap. Right? We're going to take it from 71 cents to 95 cents. So we're taking it from 1.4 to $3.1 million just by raising the rents. That's it. Just raising the rents. So we're taking it from a 7% cap, or sorry, a 7% cap rate to a 16% cap rate, and we'll be able to sell it after that. All right. And this number here, I mean, this all just comes from competition. Like I said, I mean, this is a very very good area, honestly, and the facility is a very nice area, so, we should be able to just increase rents and just give us, I asked for 18 months to really stabilize the process and get it to where we can refi it out for y'all. Okay. So that's this one here. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to get into Beacon, and Beacon is the one that we just got under contract. So, and I just got it under contract on Thursday. I've been working on this one since like November of last year, honestly, trying to get it under contract, going back and forth and all this kind of stuff. But we finally got it under contract Thursday. So let me tell you about this one as well, too. It's going to be a good one. Let me see if do I have this one up? Yeah, here it is. Okay, let me show you some pictures of it. I took some pictures of it when I was there. We went over there, took a look at it. I'm going to go back over there on Wednesdays. Let me see if I can get this and do some more due diligence and just be there to kind of get everything ready. Let's see. This is it. So it's an indoor climate. It's all indoor climate control. And let me state this. So this is just the indoor and inside of it. But, it's indoor climate control, essentially, is what it is. It looks like an indoor storage facility, a very nice storage facility inside. The outside is horrific. The outside looks horrific, but they are painting the building. They were in the process of painting it when we were there. So they should be done. Actually, that's why I'm going on Wednesday, is go check on it and see what it's, how it's looking and stuff too. But they are going to paint it. And the owner lives in New York. This is what it looks like. The owner lives in New York. And so that is why it's just not like being run properly. And then he has like his cousin running it that like shows up, for like an hour or two every single day or something. Right. So this is what this is what it looks like. You walk in and there's an office, and there's commercial retail space in this as well too. So there's commercial retail space that is has a lease that's making $100,000, $108,000 a year on it. And it's a brand new tenant. It's a 3-year lease, right? And they've been getting it all ready. They're moving in on March 1st. So that's like kind of done. And then the commercial space is all back here. This is all storage. And there's also like areas to even add more storage as well too. But we didn't even calculate any of that. All right. But it's commercial space plus storage. The commercial space is in the front right here. And they're paying, it's like this massive, huge office, and they're paying like $9,000 a month is what they're paying. And in the back is all the storage. Okay. And the owner's just living in New York, and he just doesn't want it. He says it's too much for him to manage it from all the way over there and stuff. It's just not working. And another thing that's really cool, you can't see over here on this side is all like a whole fenced in area where like we can do parking, but he's not doing anything over there. And what was really cool too when I was there was that there's like a boat company, and this is another thing too, is the guy that was working there, he met us and he was like, yeah, he's like, this boat company called me and they asked if they could store their boats here, but he has like, he had like 100 boats, and he's like, I couldn't. He's like, we don't have a space for 100 boats here. And so then, like he said, then I realized what they were talking about, because he went and like they rent. The boat company went and rented the space right behind them, like a lot. And what they did is they were stacking their boats up like 6 at a time, like right next to each other. They're all covered up. And they were like, it's a boat company like sells boats, and that they just wanted to store their boats. And I was thinking like, this guy, what an idiot. If they were going to pay like X amount of dollars, a year to store these boats here. And the guy was like, space for, all those boats. Anyway, so I was thinking like, oh, we got to find somebody else to be storing their boats there. That'd be awesome. So, but anyways, it's parking is what it is. We got to figure out what to do with that. But you can see here, it's got like offices, and it's got like storage. You can see they wanted $3 million. We're not paying $3 million for it. I'll show you what we're paying. Right. But it's almost 25,000 square feet. It's 2 stories. They've got an elevator in there. I mean, it's a very nice facility, a freight elevator and all kinds of stuff there. But so that's it. And then it's in Leesburg, Florida. If you know where Leesburg, Florida is, like right north of Orlando. Okay. A very good area. It's right next to the Villages, honestly. Like Leesburg is like a little bit run down, and then you got the Villages, kind of is how it is. But the Village is like booming. And then also right in Leesburg, there's a college. I mean, there's a university right there, and a lot of the students are renting from this facility. And that's what the guy says. Like a lot of students are renting. So this is what it looks like. All right, just so you know. And so it's very ugly on the outside, but don't worry, we will fix it up, make it look good, and make it look like a nice, presentable building. And also the reason why it's yellow too is because the owner bought it from the previous owner, and the previous owner I guess hated the city or something, so he like painted the whole building yellow to piss everybody off, and so that's why it's yellow. And so that was like the story behind it. So it's just this big and the city is like, what we will do whatever you want if you can just paint this building and make it look better, because the entire downtown area outside of this area is like beautiful, nice, like collegey kind of look and stuff, and then you got this big ugly yellow building there. And even the new owner, he's like, still it took him, like they've owned it for a year, and he still hasn't painted it. But that was one of our requirements, was to get it painted. Okay, so let me just show you the numbers on this. Let me show you the numbers here. So everybody got to see that. So let's just look at the numbers. Now, the best part about this deal is that the owner is going to owner finance this to us. Okay, so because what he wants is $2.5 million, right, for the facility. And there's like no, like, of course, obviously there's no way for anybody to, to buy it for that. And we got him down from 3 million to 2.5, and we got him to owner finance it, which is like really exciting. So I'll show you the numbers on it. And we're still trying to work through, the competition. We looked at all the competition in the area. Remember, it's all climate control, so we can only look at, climate control. But he's making, for the storage, he's making $108,000 a year, and he's 40% full. I'm sorry, 40% vacant. 40% vacant. Okay, there's 177 units, and it's like 17,600 and X amount of square feet. Okay, and so he's at 85 cents a square foot. But all climate control in the area is almost, honestly, the truth. all climate control in the area is like $2 at $2 a square foot. But I just ran the numbers like super conservative at like $1.50 a square foot. I was like, we're not gonna go crazy on this thing. Let's just increase it slowly. Because a lot of times we rip the Band-Aid, but like, in certain situations, I think we should just like, figure the market out. So so we're taking it from 85 cents to $1.45 to $1.45 in the beginning, and then hopefully, by year 5, we can run the numbers on the numbers so you can see what it looks like. But by the end of the time, we can have it at 2 years. But I just wanted to see kind of how the numbers looked like this. Okay. And we put $50,000 of CapEx in there because they do not have security. They don't have 24 access. In fact, they only are open 9 to 5, like Monday through Friday. That's it. Okay. So we need to get 24-hour access. We need to get like better security cameras and things like that is what we need to do. There's no cameras at all in this thing. The owner did not want to pay for it. Okay. So now he wants to owner finance. These are the terms of the owner finance. It's $2.5 million at 30% down, 5% interest. He's going to give us 2 years to stabilize this thing so that we can refi out in 2 years. All right. So we only have to do interest only payments for 2 years, which comes out to a little bit over $7,000 a month. And, he's already making $108,000. So, we'll be able to, pay the mortgage and get this thing up and running. So this is the term. So you could see the cash on cash comes out to 27%, right? The cash on cash is at 27%. So I have to come up with $750,000 for the down payment. That is what I'm raising the money for. So he will owner finance and hold the note for 2 years. And I need $750,000 in order to purchase this facility. Okay. So that's the term of the loan. But you can see even at $2.5 million, the cash on cash is 12%. Right. So, I mean, at 2.5, it's still a good deal. That's because the property is making $108,000 for the storage. And with the tenant that's moving in, it's going to be around $116,000 for just that income. So that's why it's okay to pay that much money for the property, right? It's because of those two things. So that is this property here. So you can see that we're buying at a 5 cap. We're taking it to a 12 cap. So we're taking it from, $2.5 million to 4.4, and that's at the 4.45, right? But, all the competition in the area, if you look at, actually, let me just show this to you because I had Ann also pulling up competition. There's like 3 or 4 facilities in the area, just right in the area. And they're all at like $2 a square foot. And then the further that you go out, because it's like a downtown area. And then the further that you go out, the price goes a little bit, because it's a little bit more country because it's, it's suburbs, but essentially like it'll be around that. So we'll play with the numbers and then we'll see, we'll see what we can get. But I think $1.45 is conservative. And hopefully after we refi it out, we can get a loan and then we can try to take it up to even higher, right? So we do 1.75, we'll be able to make it to, if I could even just get it to 1.75, then it would be over a $5 million price. Okay. So that is that deal. That's that deal right there. Okay. So and then if you have any questions, just let me know. Let me just get over here. So now that we've gone through all 4 of the deals, now you know what I'm trying to raise the money for. And let me see here. We're going to go back to the portal. Okay. So inside the portal is where you will be able to see. I haven't put the beacon stuff in there yet because we haven't finished the executive summary and this kind of stuff. But once I get the stuff in, then you'll be able to find all that in here. And then also you'll be able to find the financial model. I think I opened up the financial model. Let me stop share and open that up. Hang on. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. Sometimes Zoom is like weird. So I just stop share and then reshare. Okay, here it goes. Okay. So now this is under the documents in the portal, right? Just type in the word financial model or financial or model in the search and this will come up. You have access to this. And then this one doesn't have No, it doesn't. This one does not have the beacon in it. And we will be adding the beacon one. Unless, Anne, did you find the beacon one or no? The one that has beacon in it?
Financial model? No, I don't have it.
You don't have it. Okay, all right. So we'll get
Sorry.
that updated. These only just have the 3 in it, and Adam is working on updating the new model to have the beacon in there. So just give him a couple days to update that, and we'll put that in there as well. But through the numbers, let me see. We have all you need to do is anything in yellow you can change, right? So you can see that you can put the date that you're going to invest in, plus the investment amount, whatever amount it is. Here we have 50 grand. We're going to put it in at the end of the month, right? And then you can see how much money you're going to be making. And these are all like, this is with the refinancing for each of the 3 models off. If we refinance them, right, then, the numbers are going to change. Okay. So those are all 3 here. And then you can play around essentially as we go through the fund and the holding period of the fund, we can update this. Okay. And every time that you change this, then this is going to change, right? So if as of right now, with the 3, with all the way through Carrollton, we have, if you put $50,000 in, and then at the end of next quarter, you'll get $930, et cetera, all the way down, until we refi out. You can see we're refining it out after either 18 or 24 months, right? And then you can just follow this all the way down. So you can see at the sale period, I'm going to make this much money. That's why if you put 50 grand, and if you change it to 100 grand, then the numbers will change. Okay. And you'll make X amount of dollars all the way going through. Okay. And these are all just based on, these are accurate numbers on the deals. Okay. And then you can see here, I have 18, 24, 18. So Blairsville, we are doing 18 months, and then Macon is 24 months, and then Carrollton, we have 18 months. That's kind of what we're looking for the month we're going to refi. So a little bit more time on Macon, right? And then when we put Beacon in here, we'll have that. And that one is, we have to actually refi out in 24 months. So that will be added on here, and it'll say 24 right here. But we can go through, we can change these numbers as well if you wanted to. You can change the LTVs, you can change the interest rates on the loan, whatever exact interest rate we get, we'll add those as we go through the fund, right? And refi out. So you can play with this, play around with this page, and then you can see your numbers and see what you're doing. So you can see at 100,000, once we refi out these 3 deals, then, you'll make at the end around 280 grand. Obviously, this is just projections, but you can at least kind of have an idea of where we're hitting at based on the deals. And then you can look at each of the deals. So all 3 of these tabs are all accurate numbers, and we'll add Beacon to the 4th one, and that'll be accurate numbers. And you can look at the numbers, and it shows you like what the acquisitions purchases, acquisitions cost. It shows you all of the historicals, right, of each deal, what it's making now and what it will be making, and your NOI. And then it shows your vacancy losses. It also shows like, how long the improvements are going to take. And then this is the refi section right here. Right. So then when we refi it out in 18 months, at a 7% interest rate, here's our disposition fee, right? This is what everybody's going to get back when we cut the check for refining out. Here's our management fee, right? And then 20 years amortization. And, we just change these numbers as we go along and refi out. And then at the exit, right, at 54 months, we're going to have another disposition fee. And then that's going to go here. And then here's your fees for the expenses and stuff, right? So it's all here. And so you could see the total amount of money that you're going to be making, total interest, all this is all right here. This is per deal. And then the waterfalls are in here as well too, right? So the hurdles, right? Hurdle 1 is just the 10% preferred return, 15% right here. And then the hurdle 3 is right here. Right. So it shows you all that. So if you're like a financial model person, then you can get all up in here and look all the numbers and stuff like this. Okay. This is right here for you. Okay. Everything's right here. Okay. So you can go through each deal, and as we add another deal, we'll add another section on here. Okay. But that's the financial model. You can play around with that and really kind of, see how much money you're going to make, based on our projections. Okay. And then finally get back into the portal, right? And this is where you can see the financial model is going to be under the documents, but we're going to go back to the dashboard, and this is where the subscription is. And you can see here, there's 3 different types of subscriptions: individual, and if you have a spouse, and then this is custodian, is if it's coming from a 401k, and this is the company one, if you're going to be, lending from your company. Okay, so you just pick whichever one. This is all through DocuSign. You just sign it right internally, and you just have it, signed. Okay, and then I'll sign it as well too. We'll both have a copy of it. Okay, and this is the accreditation letter. This is where you're going to upload some sort of verification that you're an accredited investor. It'll be from a broker, CPA, your tax returns. It could be, everybody send all kinds of stuff. And if you have any questions about what you should send, just email us, and we can always ask Adam if it's okay and stuff. Okay. And then the transfer, this is where you get the wire information. Okay, this is where all the information you can send the wire over. And so that is this is the notes and stuff like this as well too. So any updates we put here as well, okay, of what we're doing on the facilities. So that's the portal. So the portal will be kind of how we communicate with you, and and tell you about the deals and stuff until the quarterly report, okay, and the quarterly meeting. Okay, so that is it in a nutshell. Any questions about the fund that anybody is thinking about? You can either put it into the chat or you can unmute yourself and ask. Any thoughts? Everybody just sleeping? The minimum investment is 25K. The minimum investment is 25K, but we're looking for 50 to 100 if you can do that, right? So that we can close on these deals. Good. Who else? Any thoughts? Questions? I answered them all. Okay.
I think
Anne,
John has a question. I think John has a question.
John?
Yep.
John, say something. Did you want to say it or you want to post it?
I posted his question.
Okay. Oh, John, did you close the Carrollton location? No, not yet. No, we're still raising the money for that one. We're still raising the money. Yes. Okay, good. What else? Any other questions, thoughts? If you have any questions, if you want to, somebody else posted something. Clarity, funds will be invested for all the properties as a whole. Yes. The funds are invested for all of it. Essentially, we're raising money for the next 2 deals, but overall, your funds are going into the entire funds, right? For all the funds, right? So, for instance, you're going to make, if you put 50 grand in the next quarter, you're going to make $930 because, that's what, that's based on the other 2 deals that we have as well, too. Okay. So you're coming in after we have a couple of deals. Or whatever the money, I don't know how much money it was, but you're going to make X amount of dollars, Okay, good. What else? Let me see. Did we have another question? Since the new deal is 2.5 million, not 1 million, will you only buy 6 facilities? Yeah, something like that. Yes, exactly. Unless I find another Macon. What if if I find another Macon, it's only a couple $100,000, I can make it, they can bring it to 2 million, So we'll just see what we can do. What if I'm new? Yeah, so the only thing, essentially, I help all different types of investors, new or advanced, right? And I'm here to hold your hand, guide you through the whole process. And if you need to meet me on Zoom and you have more questions about the whole process, just let me know. But I attract all kinds of different investors from all different types of areas and stuff. So I'm here to help you, guide you, especially if you're new to fund, investing in the funds. And remember, I have been privately funded for over 10 years. I've done all my transactions have been privately funded. I've only ever done 1 bank loan transaction. That's it. Everything else privately funded. So I'm very used to working with private investors and there to guide you and help you along the way. Okay. Okay, good. Well, I definitely appreciate you guys hanging on to the end, and I look forward to working with you. Anne's gonna email you the replay, and she's gonna, if you want to set up a time, just email her back and let her know, and then she'll give you access to the portal as well too. So if you can do that, that would be great. Just hop on, you can get access to that. Okay. I appreciate your time, everybody. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.